탱글 타워.
You ready, Sally?
Grimore, I've been standing here for 7.5 minutes.
Just checking.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank. Did you read the case file? What do you think?
I'm not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on. Did you read it?
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
살인 피해자 프레이야 펠로우 19세 플로라 펠로우의 초상화를 그리는 도중 사망. 이 소리가 너무 크다. 아이 잠깐만. 장소 플로라의 탑. 플로라는 현장에서 초상화 모델로 포즈를 취하고 있었다. 프레이야 펠로우는 등을 바닥에 대고 쓰러진 채 발견됐으며 가슴에 단 하나의 자상을 입은 상태였다. 현장에서 어떠한 무기도 발견되지 않았지만 프레이야가 끝내지 못한 그림 속 주인공은 칼을 들고 있다. 칼 끝의 빨간색은 물감이 아니다. 피인 것으로 확인되었다. 그러면 플로라 탱글 타워. 이곳은 탱글 타워라고 불리지만 하단부의 저택에 연결된 두 개의 탑이 있을 뿐이다. 원형의 호수에 둘러싸여 있다. 호수물은 이상색이다. 호수는 깎아지른 듯한 절벽에 둘러싸여 있다. 절벽은 너무 가파르고 매끄러워 오를 수 없다. 탱글 타워에는 현재 두 가문이 거주한다. 펠로우 가문과 포인터 가문. 오케이. 인물 프레이야 펠로우. 목이 무지하게 긴. 이건 뭐냐? 오케이.
So, who...
Sally, you know, we haven't even been to the
Still, I reckon I've got it all worked out. It's a garden, I think. It's currently far away.
We could walk closer to it.
Ready when you are.
It's a bird bath. Is that just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune.
Please don't do that.
The ground's moist, but it's not muddy. Wonder how often it rains here.
I cannot believe how exciting this murder investigation is already.
Mountains.
Nope. They're too steep. They're more like cliffs.
Whatever they are, they go all the way around the lake.
It's a garden, I think. Ready when you are. It's a garden, I think. Ready when you are.
Rocks, aren't they? Rocks.
Fascinating.
Aren't they?
I tied the boat up to the mooring post, so it'll stay put for now. Probably.
Loving the confidence. It's the little boat we used to cross the lake. It's the only way on or off the island.
What a comforting thought. That's a big lake.
It's kind of purple. Looks poisonous.
I think it's just water.
Yeah, water with poison in it. Why is the sky...
Not everything is a mystery, Grimoire. The sky can be whatever color it likes.
It's just an archway, but it seems a little ominous. Like walking through it might give you bad luck.
Too late.
What are they?
Wind chimes. Silent, wooden wind chimes.
The ground's moist.
I cannot believe how...
Rocks, aren't they?
뭐 딱히 중요한 건 없어
Do you
보이네.
think anybody's watching us?
Maybe. Let's wave just in case.
근데 조금 안 좋다. 역제처럼 쫙 해서 클릭할 수 있는 부분을 알 수 있으면 좋겠는데. 이동해 볼까? 그린모어. 여긴 정원이고.
A bench of solid cold stone.
My favorite kind.
It's a stone carving. Wonder how it got cracked.
I think it's supposed to look like that. It's an egg.
What animal is that?
Hawk. Bear. Lizard.
Right, of course. A hawk bear lizard.
It's a bandstand.
Bit small for a bandstand.
It's a one-man bandstand.
It's a statue of some hideous, scaly, bipedal fish monster
Playing a harp.
playing a harp. Hang on a second.
오,
This isn't just a regular statue, is it?
Something tells me we're not gonna solve this just yet.
Let's come back. It must do something.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
하프 동상, 정원. 큰 하프를 들고 있는 낡고 풍화된 양소류 동상. 하프의 기둥 대부분에 기호가 새겨져 있다.
Spooky. What do you think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
Is it working?
No. It's full of the same weird water that was in the lake.
Any fish in there?
Not a single one. Although there is something in there.
It's a cassette tape, or it used to be.
손상된 테이프, 정원. 카세트 테이프는 물에 젖어 손상됐다. 라벨의 잉크는 번져서 알아볼 수 없다. 뭐 중요한 건 없어 보이네. 아직까지.
What do you think? Does it work?
No. This is some.
Do the plants all look a little strange?
This is some.
Do the plants all look a little?
It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to say too quiet.
It's not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet.
It's a path through the leads up to the house. I see. This is some.
Do the
벗어서는 안
plants all
되네.
look a little?
That must be Tangle Tower.
뭐 클릭할 수 있는 건 다 클릭해본 것 같고 크게 중요한 건 없어 보이네. 이동해볼까? 정문 탱글 투어. 오,
Oh.
What?
Oh. There's an O on the floor.
Oh yeah, Tangle Tour.
탱글 투어.
Tour. That leads back to the gardens. Oh.
What?
Oh.
Tangle.
Tour.
Little bird feeders.
How do you know they're for birds?
Should we ring the doorbell?
Why would we not? It's a little melody. Is that an envelope?
It's been opened. Let's read it.
Isn't that an invasion of someone's
Oh,
privacy?
definitely.
뜯어본 편지, 정문, 봉투가 뜯겨있다. 안에는 작은 종이가 들어있다. 조합은 다른 종이에 있습니다. 조합을 외운 뒤에는 이 종이를 없애십시오. 당신의 사고에는 동의할 수 없습니다. 그것은 밑에서 찾을 수 없을 겁니다. 뭐라는 거야? 뭐야
Do you
이거?
think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us. Why build a house here anyway?
I'm sure they had their reasons.
Why build a
I'm
house?
sure they had their reasons.
A path leading towards the stone square.
Don't think it's locked.
Oh, that means we can just walk straight in, right?
I'm pretty sure that's the rule, yeah. Which one?
Age old. Looks like someone tried to chop it down, but then gave up.
Can you blame them? Which one do you think came first? The tree or the house?
The age old question.
It's red, but I don't think it's painted. It's just red.
Why build a house here?
I'm sure they had their reasons.
더 볼 거 없어 보이네. 이제 두 군데로 이동할 수 있는데
Let's head to the crime scene first. It's at the top of the West Tower, I think.
얘가 말하려던 걸 완전히 차단시켜주네. 그랜드 홀.
It's a big glass tube filled with water.
There are weeds in there. And sand.
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except there's nothing living in it anymore.
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
오, 가게도 뭐야? Lord Fellow, Lady Fellow, Selena Stonetop, Flint 아니 Lint Fellow, Alex Fellow, 펠리카 펠로우, 데민 더스크, 프레이야 펠로우 아들인가 보네. 에밀리 에버스톤 앤 플리츠 펠로우, 피오나 펠로우, 로드 레미 뭐야 이게? 레밍턴.
Lord Remington.
어,
He sounds important. Lady Remington.
레이디
I think
레밍턴.
I have one of those in my bathroom. Flora Remington.
I think she's mentioned in our case file.
And Fiona
Fiona
Fellow.
Fellow, dead center. She must be important.
She's half fellow and half Remington.
Do you think she still lives here? Primrose Remington.
I always liked the name Primrose.
Do you think she still lives here?
Richard
The one and only.
Percival Pointer. He married into the Remington
Do
family.
you think he still lives here?
Lord Pointer.
This goes back a couple of... Lady Pointer.
How do I want to be a lady?
Buck Brackley.
What?
Do you think he still lives here?
Pandora Pointer.
All this
Pandora
alliteration
Pointer.
isn't happening by accident, is it?
Do you think she still lives here? Penelope Pointer.
Half Pointer,
Penelope.
half Brackley.
Penelope Pointer.
Do you think she still lives here? Poppy Pointer.
Poppy
She's
Pointer.
half
Do you
Remington.
think she still lives here? Emily Everstone. Do you think she still lives here? Fitzfellow. Half fellow.
Do you think he still lives here?
예.
Emily
뭐야?
Everstone.
왜 점점점이야?
Do you think she still lives here?
Felix Fellow. Looks like he
Do you
married
think he still lives here?
Flint.
A purebred fellow, if there ever was one. Married a randomer, though.
Do you think he still lives here?
그러게 에버스톤은 완전히 처음 보는.
Lady Fellow.
Do these people not have first names? Lord Fellow.
Looks like he was-
Scandal.
Selena Stonetop.
No family line. Apparently, she just appeared out of nowhere.
Felicia Fellow.
Freya's mother.
Alicia.
Do you think she still lives here? Freya Fellow.
Murder victim.
She's barely related to the main family at all.
프레이야 펠로우와 플로라 레밍.
Flora.
I think she's mentioned in our case.
플로라 펠로.
What
I
is
think it's a family tree.
레이디 펠로가 플로라 펠로는 없는데? 얘겠지 아마 레이디 펠로.
It's not locked. Sally, check those plants.
Is soil a clue?
Sally, check those plants.
Is soil a clue? Finally, we get to investigate a murder in a spooky mansion.
It's not that spooky, really.
Don't ruin this. Finally, we don't ruin this.
Sally, check those
Is
plants.
soil a clue? A door.
Oh, what's behind it?
A room.
아우.
Finally, we get
It's
to.
not
Don't ruin this. This one has a big P.
That's probably important.
How very perceptive of you.
A big letter.
Of course. Who doesn't hang a giant banner of their initial in the lobby of their mansion?
뭐
Sally, check those.
Is soil a clue?
뭐랄까?
Let's head to the crime scene. It's at the top of the West Tower.
사람인.
Let's take a look at that painting first. There it is, the unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it.
Looks that way.
프레이야는 그림을 끝내지 못했다. 작업 중 사망했기 때문이다. 플로라는 칼을 들고 있는 것처럼 보인다. 그 끝에 빨간 물질은 피인 것으로 확인이 되었다. 근데 이게 그림에서의 피라는 건가 실제로 피라는 건가?
I wonder if all of Freya's paintings are this creepy. Maybe it's just because she never got to finish it.
There's something wrong with the crime scene, and something really weird about the murder weapon.
We didn't find a murder weapon.
오, 뭐야 이게? 이상한데? 피면은
Flora's portrait was used to kill blood because it stabbed
used to
Freya.
kill
Almost.
blood?
Maybe just.
아하.
Flora's portrait was used to kill Freya Fellow because it stabbed Freya. Nope.
물감부시겠지 뭐.
Paintbrush was used to kill blood because it stabbed
아니.
Freya. That's not right.
하하하하.
Blood is holding a knife tipped with Freya Fellow
아이,
because it
미치겠네.
stabbed That's not right either.
아,
Flora
됐다.
Fellow is holding a knife tipped
아,
with
이거
blood
왼쪽으로
because it
이동시켜줬으면
stabbed
좋았을
Freya.
텐데.
Almost. Maybe
어,
just.
아니라고?
Flora Fellow is holding a knife tipped with blood, but it was removed from the scene. That's not right either.
아니, 나 뭐. 아,
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
됐다.
What?
Weird, huh?
You think Freya was stabbed by a painting? Not by the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
Mm-hmm. Freya was standing right up by the canvas when she was killed. There's blood on the knife. It's the murder weapon.
Right, but it's not actually a knife. It can't stab.
See any other knives around here? Case closed.
The case is not closed. And even if you were right, where does that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
Tangle Tower. 끝내지 못한 그림. 오, 레이트 나는 것 같아.
Flora Fellow?
Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Nothing. What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now. Is there anything you'd like to tell us, Flora? I don't really know anything about you at all.
I think that's the way she likes it. We'll just have to ask other people about her.
Yeah, okay.
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
또 침묵을 일관하겠지.
Was this something you had planned with her ahead of time?
Was there something special about yesterday?
Did you talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
She's not going to answer us, is she?
Nope. But at least we can say we tried.
Is that an egg? An egg with birds.
It's also what a completely ordinary.
I think it's a container.
Those gems look like they come off.
지도 맞춰야 되나? 그런 거 같은데. 예. 아 이게 핑크구나. 맞지 않나? 아 짧은 쪽이 핑크색이고.
No, that was it.
Nice work.
됐다.
Did it unlock?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, I'm not leaving without a clue. An empty egg is a clue, right?
속이 빈 알 플로라의 탑. 잠금을 해제하면 안을 열 수 있다. 현재는 비어 있다. 아래 안감은 부드러운 벨벳 같은 소재로 되어 있다. 알은 황동으로 된 스탠드 위에 올려져 있다. 밑에는 뾰족한 발톱이 난 이상발 3개가 있다.
Is that a gramophone?
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
축음기. 플로라의 탑. 레코드 대신에 카세트 테이프를 재생한다. 방 중앙을 향해 놓여져 있다. 앞을부터 테이프 놓는 곳까지 뚜렷한 금이가 있다.
What about the cassette tape?
Yeah, it sure is. Pink.
오, 금이간 테이프. 카세트 테이프 중앙에 금이가 있다. 라벨에 손으로 적은 메시지가 있다. 프레이야에게.
Do you think it still
The
works?
gramophone? It's piano music.
금이간 테이프는 피아노 음악을 녹음한 것이다. 짧게 재생되다 멈춘다.
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
밖을 걷는 누군가를 녹음한 것이다. 지직거리며 멜로디를 흥얼거리는 소리가 들린다. 소름 끼치네.
It's so dark back.
Somehow the sunlight doesn't seem to be making it very. Freya's painting supplies.
다 깨져 있는. 다는 아니고 대부분 깨져 있네. 다 깨져 있는 게 맞구나. 모두 한 프레이야의 물감. 빨간색, 노란색, 파란색, 검은색, 흰색 물감을 담은 작은 유리통. 유리통은 모두 한쪽으로 금이가 있다.
Freya's painting supplies.
뭐야?
Supposedly, Freya looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
붓과 팔레트. 플로라의 탑. 팔레트에는 여러 물감이 올려져 있다. 가장 큰 부분은 중앙에 검은색이다. 이게 검은색이라고? 물감 붓에는 빨간 물감이 묻은 채 말라 있다.
A bunch of old books covered in dust now, but they look well read.
That's the only.
It's also,
Sure is. Guessing half the room is a
I
bit.
don't know if you can call it an open window. It's more like the sudden absence of wall. A bunch of old books covered in dust now, but
We're at the top of the tower, right?
I think so. What?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing.
타워의 맨 꼭대기가 아닌가 여기가?
The whole room is a
Yeah,
strange.
there might be a reason for that. A bunch of old books covered in dust now, but
Flora, you were definitely in the room at the time of the murder. Surely you must have seen something? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya?
입 좀 열어봐요.
Yeah, she's acting pretty suspicious if you ask me.
I don't know. Maybe she really doesn't know anything.
How is that possible?
아니 그러면 말라라고.
Anything we should know? Besides staring out the window? Were you close with Freya? How
씨발
are you two related?
미치겠구만.
Did you kill Freya?
Grimoire.
What? I don't even think she's listening.
Oh, she's listening.
Did you ask Freya to paint this? Or was it her idea?
What is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife.
진짜 아무 말도 안 하네. 끝까지.
Flora, this is your egg? Why do you keep it locked?
Is there supposed to be something in there? Or is it always empty? Is this your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
아, 그냥 벙어리인가? 연병. 이동해야겠지? 아래로 계속해서 한번 보자고.
It's a barometer, but it's broken.
I've never seen a barometer that wasn't broken.
What is it?
He's an imp.
What does he do?
Well, if you tell too many lies, he appears at the end of your bed in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Oh.
The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just made of wood. I think it's the actual hull of a ship.
Nice. A real treasure chest.
How do you know there's treasure in there?
Why else would it be locked? Plus, there's a treasure map hanging directly above it. What's the deal with that painting on the
Not
front?
sure. We should check that treasure map too.
지도. 이런. 멀리 보이는 게 있고 왼쪽에 용, 오른쪽에 산. 이거면 I4. I4. 사우스 노스트겠지? 노스겠지? 이거겠지?
Nothing.
Did you check the treasure map for clues? And what about that painting on the chest?
아니야? 아, 새도 있구나. 아, 이런. 왼쪽에 용. 오른쪽에 산이면 H6에 W겠네. 됐다.
That's done it.
Neat. What was in the box?
More wooden. These are a little different to the one on the desk.
색칠된 조각상, 작업장, 초록머리를 한 아이의 형상, 회색머리를 한 여자의 형상, 빨갛고 하얀 새의 형상, 큰 어깨를 가진 남자의 형상. 나무 조각상들은 모두 손으로 색을 칠한 것이다. 하지만 전문가의 손길로 보이지는 않는다. 빨간 물감통과 붓이 근처에 보인다. 붓에는 빨간 물감이 말라붙어 있다. 뭐 이 둘은 알겠고 이 사람은 이 사람이겠. 이 사람 아닌 것 같은데.
It's a drinking horn.
Is it full of ale? Or mead, maybe?
Right now, it's just full of dust.
Oh.
에일
More
먹고 싶다.
maps?
No, they're just blank.
Oh.
야,
A map with a dotted line and an X marked on it.
That's a very boring way to describe a treasure map. You get a good view of the lake from here. A hammock. It's kind of worn out.
I would politely describe it as lived in. A pencil drawing of a mountain on a moonlit night.
Mood. A lot of redundant light sources. A lot of redundant light sources.
That's a massive.
I hope so. It's a magic lamp. Can we summon the
If we
genie?
get really stuck, sure.
Shelf junk.
An old wooden.
Probably cursed. The entire room.
Oh, it's not just. It's the actual. A little mirror.
Definitely cursed.
It's not
아니.
cursed. But everything is cursed.
자꾸 저주받았다고.
Shelf junk.
말이나 걸어볼까?
Sir?
얘도
Can you
벙어리인가?
hear me? I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some questions for you.
Grimoire.
아니네.
Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and
Felix
call.
Fellow.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
Well, I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
비밀의 방이 진짜 있나 본데.
So, Felix, what exactly do you, do?
Is it not obvious? I'm an explorer.
that obvious?
Explorer slash treasure hunter. Yes, well, best in the world.
We're talking like curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that. But I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
You listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long. I go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the Fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is,
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world.
피오나,
They
플로라,
are the
펠릭스.
greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
You're the one currently
Let's move on.
uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower.
어,
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Yes, been married over 20 years now.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of 3. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know.
어우, 왜 이렇게 쎄하지?
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason we're here?
Ah, right, nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help, but I wish you all the best in your investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
It's Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, working on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
What have you got?
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. Uncertain, as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Right, fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course. Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me. You're the one currently...
Let's move on.
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all. Something of a fresh start.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement with her siblings. After they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, yes, less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it? What's this?
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comforting.
Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way, but I can't recall. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. I'm as confused as you are. It would have been a beautiful painting. It's rather a shame Freya was unable to finish it.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange, aren't they? The emotion of the piece taking over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at.
Does Flora normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
Flora's quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do. That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
뽑힐 게 되게 많네.
Looks like Freya's paints.
Do you know why the pots are cracked down one side?
No, that's very odd. They're normally in excellent condition.
You seem pretty sure about
턴이랑
that.
꽤나 연관이 있어 보이네.
It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Ah, yes. So we shall. Now you found it. What do you think, huh? I had to rush the final touches a little bit. It turned out all right, though.
What's it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course, surrounded
잘 만들었네.
by all her favorite people.
이거 본인인가 보다. 뭐 여기까지인 것 같아요. 펠릭스 씨는 1층으로 가서 가게들을 한번 더 봅시다.
What
I
is
think it's a family.
자 보면은
Lord
Looks
found
like
the
it was
scandal.
펠로와 이제
Lady
Lady.
Do
Fella?
these people
Fellow.
not have first names?
이게 펠릭스하고 플로라겠지. 아니 펠릭스하고 플로라. 펠릭스하고 플로라 그리고 피오나.
Fiona Fed Center.
She's half
Do you think
Fel-
she still lives here?
포인터 집안이 이 포인트. 어씨 헷갈려. 아 외국인들 이름이라 헷갈려. 잠깐만 프레이야 펠로우지 주.
Freya Fella.
Murder victim.
She's barely related.
더메인 더스크하고 펠리카 펠로우.
Felicia Fella.
Freya's mother.
Do you think she still
Alicia.
lives here?
얘랑은 어떤 사이지 그러면? 부모의 첩의 딸이나 아들의 자식이니까. 그냥 딸뻘이네, 딸뻘이야. 겁나 복잡하네. 프레이야, 여기는 사람은 없을 것 같고 봅시다.
It's a little wooden box for paintbrushes.
To the casual observer, maybe. They're not real paintbrushes. Looks like they're part of some kind of lock mechanism. Nothing.
Did you find a hint on those scraps of paper? It looks like a ripped up jigsaw puzzle.
총 요거 두 개는 분 모양이겠고 나머지는 다 세 개일 텐데. 이 자 표시가 뭔지를 모르겠단 말이야. 그래서 이 순서대로 그냥 왼쪽에서 오른쪽으로 배치를 해봤는데 심지어 이 주황색이 아니었네? 아, 주황색은 이거구나. 그래. 그래. 아직도 이해는 안 가지만 이게 맞는 건가? 모르겠어. 그러니까 주황색하고 핑크색 대는 알겠는데 이걸로 뭘 할 수가 있지? 세 번째는 핑크색의 이거고 뭐 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6이라 치면은 이건 파란색 이렇게 주황색 대가 있어야 되고 초록색이 있어야 돼. 그럼
That
이거야?
was
Each brush has various characteristics. The information we need is on the paper. Once it's been
여긴 두 개. 이거 길이는 알겠다. 그러면 이건 짧은 거여야 되는데 주황색 짧은 거 이거구만.
still locked.
so, there's a couple of brushes.
아니네. 뭐지? 주황색 짧은 거, 초록색, 핑크색의 이 모양은 두 개야. 근데 파란색이 있어야 되고. 얘네들이
There we
바뀌었구나.
go.
Perfect.
오케이.
What was in the box?
Just a photograph. Well, most of a photograph.
찢어진 사진, 프레이야의 방. 두 어린 소녀의 사진. 한 명은 빨간 머리, 다른 한 명은 초록 머리를 가졌다. 큰 부분이 없는 불완전 사진. 찢겨진 것 같다.
Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
I don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
No windows either. Not the kind of lamp I choose for my bedroom, but fair enough.
It's cool. Looks like old mining equipment or something.
It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
Do you think this was always
I don't
no
know.
windows either? Freya's plants. They must not need sunlight. Freya's plants. They must not. There's no natural
I
light.
like it.
Freya's plants. They must not. Freya's plants. They must not. Freya's plants. They must not. Even though we're halfway up a tower, someone's been tracking in mud from outside.
Painting supplies. That painting.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on. There's a smaller version down by the floor.
It's a photograph.
그림을 찍은 사진, 프레이야의 방, 프레이야의 추상화를 찍은 작은 사진, 위에 테이프 조각이 붙어 있다. 가장자리에는 검은 잉크로 줄이 그어져 있다.
Painting supplies.
It's a fish?
I think it looks more like.
Fine, it's
Could also be a shark.
a lot of these paintings look unfinished.
How can you tell if they're finished or not?
Good point.
Freya's bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
He's had a rough couple of days.
Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
Do you think this was
I don't
no
know.
windows either? Do you think this
I
was
don't
no
know.
windows either? There's no
I
natural.
like it.
There's no natural light in here at all.
I like it.
Brushes, pencils.
They're clean, but they look pretty well used.
That's weird.
What did you find in the
Nothing.
drawer?
They're completely empty. A pillow with a paw print pattern.
It's a cushion.
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate. It's Freya's bed. A little bit messy.
It's a perfectly healthy amount of messy.
That's weird.
What did you find in the drawers?
Nothing. They're completely empty.
We already solved it.
딱히 뭘 더 풀어야 되겠다는 생각은 안 드네.
That painting.
Why would
Maybe
you be
Frank,
angry?
there's a
It's a photograph.
다 한 거 같아. 나가볼까 우선? 어제 누군가 있네.
Curious. I would expect bacteria of that nature to thrive in these conditions.
Excuse me.
Taking all the environmental factors into account, there must be something I am still missing.
May I talk to you, miss?
She knows we're here. She just doesn't care.
I am a detective, and I need to talk.
Correction. You do not need to talk to me,
Oh no? How come?
because I am not a suspect. I am completely innocent of any and all crimes.
Thanks for letting me know.
Speaking of which, you have now been at Tangle Tower for over 23 minutes. Surely you have already reached a sturdy hypothesis.
The hypothesis about the murder?
Yeah, come on, Grimoire, hurry up.
My apologies. Unfortunately, protocol dictates I must at least meet all the suspects. And that includes you. So, could you tell me your name?
Fifi Fellow, microbiologist, inventor, innovator. You will need to be more specific. Oneself cannot be summarized in a single response without doing one a great disservice.
So true.
Well, first of all, you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter of...
Correct. My father and mother are named Flora and Felix, but you need not question either of them. It will only waste valuable time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
Thanks for the tip.
Fifi, you said you were a micro... something or other?
Microbiologist, but it is an insignificant label. My studies cannot be categorized in any one recognized field.
What made you want to become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed my first one at age 10.
Constructed a microscope?
Correct.
And what's that thing on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does it glow red when you get angry?
No, but that would be most amusing. What can you tell me about the murder?
What can you tell me about... Wait, that's what I'm supposed to ask you.
Yes, however, you were too slow.
You fancy yourself a detective too, Fifi?
I just need to know what happened.
Me too. So talk.
Fine. I knew ahead of time that Freya was going to be busy with her painting all day, so I had planned to spend the afternoon with Poppy. I was in the library all morning preparing the equipment for an experiment, only to find out that Poppy had made other plans and she was in fact planning to ignore me completely.
Oh.
So what did you do instead?
I locked myself in my room and cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds kind of sad.
It is not unusual.
Oh. Good.
I was in my room. The lights were off and the door was locked. Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me. I opened the door. Poppy came into my room. Her makeup was leaking. She told me Freya was dead. I did not believe it. I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face. She insisted that we go up to Flora's tower. We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs. When I saw Freya lying on the floor, I was completely and utterly devastated. Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting. Poppy and I took the sample back downstairs to the library. We performed a test and found out that it was, in fact, blood.
You performed that scientific test immediately, even though you were feeling so upset?
Of course. Why would one affect the other?
상당히 도움을 받을 수도 있겠지만 범인이라면 꽤나 귀찮을 것 같네. 물어나 볼까?
Name, Fiona Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, amateur microbiologist. Likes, the meaningful archiving of information. Dislikes, the superfluous window dressing accompanying the majority of human contact. Notes, kindly disregard the polysyllabic form of my given forename and refer to me instead as Fifi.
How come you prefer Fifi?
How come you prefer Grimoire?
How are you related to the other fellows?
Fitz is my cousin. His father, a man named Flint, was my uncle.
Was?
I do not know if Flint is alive or not. He left Tangle Tower a long time ago.
And what about Freya? How are you related to her?
We share exactly one grandparent. Name, Freya Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, artist. Deceased. Understand this. Most people find me difficult. They exhibit a noticeable degree of discomfort when talking to me. There it is. Freya, who had a way of being an exception to any given rule, was not at all like this. She is very important, and I will not rest until I understand what has happened to her.
Did you spend a lot of time with Freya recently?
I will say this. In the past year, Freya became 1. Increasingly independent, and 2. Increasingly isolated.
Do you know why?
I do not. If you are looking for a speculative, empathetic opinion, try asking Poppy instead.
The three of you are friends.
We are of a similar age, and all highly gifted. 1 scientist, 1 artist, and 1 musician.
Sounds like quite a team.
Name, Felix Fellow. Age, 53. Profession, none. Likes, collecting objects of negligible monetary value and assigning them personal value. Dislikes, the inescapable realities of human existence. Notes, Felix is my father and legal guardian.
And, is he a good dad?
I have no point of comparison, but I would say no.
No? Why not?
You asked me a binary question. Do not get upset that I provided one of the 2 possible answers.
What makes him a bad father, Fifi?
He has trouble expressing his emotions, and something of a willful detachment from reality.
Huh. Just like you, then.
Grimoire.
No, he is quite correct. Name, Flora Fellow. Age, 44. Profession, unknown. Likes, unknown. Dislikes, unknown.
Isn't she your mother? How do you not know anything?
I believe other people may have discovered methods of reaching her, but I have little capacity for interpreting nonverbal communication.
And how long has Flora been, non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what happened to make her stop talking entirely?
She suffered a great loss, something she has been unable to move beyond. What is your opinion of Tangle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate gardens, unique architecture.
Must be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of Tangle Tower.
That's quite an inheritance.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi. If you don't want the house, just tell them. Or just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like her. I require facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell.
Correction. She was stabbed with something. There was no knife found at the crime scene,
Apart from the one in the painting.
which as a mere abstract representation does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept of a knife. The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the heart. Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
We're working on it.
We are.
This belongs to Poppy. In fact, she owns a number of cassette tapes.
What happened to it, though?
It has been left underwater for an extended period of time.
Right, but why?
I do not know why. Curious. Freya is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness, but in this painting, she has accidentally made Flora look quite young.
I think she was just being kind.
Why is that kind? Anyway, I'm far more interested in what Flora is holding. I performed a test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint, but blood.
What made you want to test it in the first place?
It was Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns no such knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark, and the substance itself was overly viscous.
You noticed that just from looking at it once?
Of course. That belongs to my mother. I think she must be fond of eggs. There are a number of egg-shaped carvings to be found in the garden and in the Grand Hall.
Yeah, what's the deal with all the eggs?
Some people just like eggs. The gramophone belongs to Poppy, but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did it get cracked?
I cannot pinpoint it exactly. All I know is that it must have happened sometime in the last 2 days.
Is she laughing? Fifi, did you test the red paint in this pot?
Yes, I did. I discovered it too was blood, not paint.
A whole pot full of blood?
Not a whole pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah, but still. Doesn't that freak you out?
No. In fact, it may be considered rather reassuring. The red paint on the brush is not paint. It is blood. Same for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
I do not know the answer. The red paint same for the
So
palette.
Freya
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
It is a model of Freya, made by my father.
A model of Flora, you mean?
and a man with a beard. And a little red and white creature.
Why would my father make a model of Freya? This photograph is my favorite photograph.
So, why'd you rip it in half?
That was not me. Besides, it was not a half that was ripped off. It was only a third. I believe Freya was attempting to communicate something through this painting.
Any idea what it was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever.
Fifi's bedroom should be unlocked now.
Can't wait.
There's something about Felix's painting supply. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
Books about birds.
The shelves are about half empty.
Oh, so you're a... The
You knew
shelf...
this already.